Hello and welcome to Fathers and Sons. I'm Andrew Rosario here at Madison Square Garden, where the Knicks are looking to snap their two-game losing streak. Now they're going to have to do this against one of the best teams in the West, the Oklahoma City Thunder, paced by Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. We spoke with head coach Billy Donovan about both players, and ex-New York Knick John Starks chimed in with his take on two of the game's great players. Also, as a special, we have JB Smooth, the host of 4 Courses on MSG. We'll be right back.
Yep, he's available. So he, I think felt good warming up and going through what he went through. So, we'll start him tonight.
Without Carmelo in the starting lineup for the Knicks, what does that do for you guys defensively?
Well, I think that when you watch the Knicks play and the triangle and what they run, they're really a team that relies on all 5 parts, all 5 pieces, and certainly Carmelo's a huge part of that, with his ability to play at the elbows and to post up and isolate. But I still think with Porzingis, Calderon, different guys they have coming off the bench, they're still a team that's capable because I think they generate and manufacture shots through their offense, and Carmelo gives them that one guy that can go into a post-up ISO situation and kind of forces your hand in terms of bringing help to him or not. So I think anytime you lose a player of Carmelo's magnitude, it always affects a team. But they've got a lot of pros over there, a lot of experienced guys, and I'm sure they'll come out ready to play.
Who's going to start Dre's place?
Dion.
Well,
I think Afalo is a very, very explosive guard. He can score, post up. We thought from a matchup standpoint, looking at our team, that gave us, I think, the best matchup against him. Afalo inside what they're doing offensively is a guy you have to guard at multiple areas and spots on the floor. You got to guard him at the elbows, you got to guard him at post ups, you got to guard him coming off screening action. So, hopefully Dion can do a good job against him.
with Andre out 3 to 6 weeks, do you expect that spot to be fluid every night matchups, or do you want to stick something there?
It's hard to say right now just because of, Dre getting the MRI yesterday and finding out more news about it. And, we'll see, what it looks like going forward, because I think Dion has done a good job with that second unit, and we've gotten into a little bit of some chemistry and some cohesiveness there. And I think when you start pulling people in different spots and they're playing with different guys, different lineups, it could take some time to get adjusting to. So, we'll probably, with this back-to-back, we'll have maybe a little bit of time, when I say a little bit, just to evaluate a little bit more. But I don't want to get into a situation where we're rotating every single game, but there may be certain games dictate matchups that we have to do that.
Coach, you've talked about fond memories as a kid here at the Garden, and now that you're actually here and coaching this game tonight, what does it mean to you just to be a head coach in the NBA, coaching here, something that I'm sure as a kid would not have imagined?
Well, like I said, growing up, I think every kid that grew up playing sports, especially basketball, as a young kid in New York, always dreamed about playing in Madison Square Garden. And getting a chance to play in the Big East and the Big East tournament, being here, and then getting a chance to be a college coach, and now come back here as an NBA coach. I've always had great feelings when you come back to New York and come back to the Garden, because like I said, for every kid dreams about playing in Madison Square Garden or being inside Madison Square Garden. So I feel very blessed and fortunate, to be with the Thunder in this kind of situation, and be with the kind of organization they are. But it always brings back some memories, very positive ones.
You mentioned Porzingis in the first game. Coming into tonight's game, do you do anything differently on the offensive or defensive end of the ball?
Well, I think like anybody, he's gotten probably more in a rhythm and more comfortable. We played them so early in the year, and he came off I think a really good game before we played against them, and I thought we did a pretty good job. He opened up the game with a 3-point shot he made, and he got a couple of looks. But I think he's a guy that. Again, inside their offense, they can utilize him in a lot of different ways. They can play him inside. They can run stuff to get him threes. He can put it on the floor. But we've got to be very, very mindful and conscientious of him. But I think with his size, he's really able to create and generate shots for himself. So, all you can really do in a lot of ways is try to contest shots as best you can. With his size and his length and his skill level, when he gets them off, there's really not a whole lot you're going to be able to do.
Florida, but also in the NBA now with Kevin and Russell. Is there any difference that you see with players' leadership styles when it's a star player
versus someone who is just kind of a role player that kind of has some leadership qualities, and what are those differences?
Well, I think with Russell and Kevin, just because of their status in this league and as good as they are, there's no question that they have a very, very a loud voice and a very positive voice. And I think it's just natural when you have players of that caliber, they've got a leadership role in front of them. And I think both those guys have done a very, very good job handling that. I would say they're both really mindful of trying to help the other guys, help them come along, even through difficult situations. They're really, really positive in terms of trying to help those guys. But also it's challenging too, because when you're in that role and there's a lot on your plate, both offensively and defensively, and it may not be going how you want it to go, being able to still manage the team is also a challenge. And those guys do a really good job, and I'm really, really feel fortunate to be around those two guys, because not only are they good players and leaders, they're really, really good people.
Billy, what did you hear about both of them before coming onto the team, and how has that evolved up to this point?
Just the same thing. They were both great guys, down to earth, really good guys, easy to talk to, easy to communicate with. I've said when I came in, I really felt like working with those two guys, it was going to be more of a collaborative effort. They've experienced a lot in this league. They've had an enormous amount of success in this league, both team-wise and individually. And I felt like, for me as a coach, this being my first year, I want to be able to pick their brain. I want them to feel comfortable they can do that. They have a voice and they have an opinion on things, and that part of it's been great for me. And I think with the both of those two guys, when you're around them, the one thing that always stands out is they're great workers and they're always looking to get better. And for me, as a coach who loves the game and is a gym rat and passionate about it, it's exciting every day to deal with guys that come in every single day so motivated and energized to play.
Coach, how have you struck the balance between the fact that Kevin is really dangerous as a spot-up shooter off the ball when Russ has it, and the fact that he's a star who needs the ball himself?
Well, that's the one thing I really think with Kevin that he's got a really, really good awareness on. He has the ability to put on the floor and create an offense for other people. And I think a lot of times it can be very, very challenging and difficult to generate offense for him, because a lot of times people don't want to leave him. But to your point, when Russell has got it, sometimes that generates two on the ball or a little extra help. But I think there's a balance. When you've got a player like Kevin or even Russell who are so really dominant in a lot of ways from an isolation standpoint, you don't want to abandon that and just go away from that. You want to be able to have them have their opportunities to do it. But the one thing I'd say about Russell and Kevin, both of them, I think if you look besides the scoring, is the assist. They're both really, really willing passers. And I really think in a lot of ways Kevin gets this this brand as being one of the best scorers in this league, and rightfully so and deservedly so. But I think he also derives a lot of pleasure from passing the basketball, and he's really been a willing passer, and he's actually made the other guys on the team better. So there's definitely a balance, but I trust those two guys because they are trying to play the right way, and they understand they're going to need the other four guys on the floor, or the three guys on the floor if they're together, to help them.
It's been suggested that the team might be better off if either Durant or Westbrook wasn't on the roster. When you hear that, what do you think?
No, I think it's crazy. I think one is they got an unbelievable relationship. They've gone through so much together for, 7 years, 8 years. I think they both have a deep relationship beyond just playing together. I think both complement each other very, very well. I think in a lot of ways they both have driven each other to get better. I think Russell's a highly competitive guy, as is Kevin. I think in a lot of ways those two guys have forced each other to get better, to grow and to improve. And inevitably those two guys have forced our team to grow and develop and improve. I mean, I can't tell you how driven those two guys are every single day. So I don't necessarily agree with that.
It does seem like you guys are using Russell more in the post than he's been in previous years. Is that something that you saw was a good area for him to work when you took over the team, or is it more he's getting himself there on his own? Because it does look like a lot of the times that he does it, he's dribbling himself there in transition and things.
Well, I do want him posting up. But I think the one thing Russell's done a good job of is when he has posted and helps come, he's found people for shots. And sometimes because of his size and strength, he can force a lot of double teams. And generally when you get 2 on the ball, if the ball comes out of that, you can manufacture a lot of good open shots. So Russell's done that. I got trust and confidence in him. There's times on his own where he's out on the break and he sees the floor and he'll bring it into the post and try to force help. And if he can't force help, he's going to go make a play. But there's also things that we have put in for him where he can post up. I just think he's a big, strong guard, and he works on it every day. This is not a situation for Russell where, going into the post is something that's new for him. He works on it every day.
Billy, what's been your biggest adjustments coming from the college game directly into the pros?
Well, I think the lifestyle as a coach is totally different. My job is so much more concentrated than it was in college. In college, you could have a practice and then leave practice and jump on a plane and go watch a kid play a high school game. You could come back the next day and, deal with, an academic issue. You may have to start making recruiting phone calls. You got to get prepared and ready for practice. There's just so many different things that you're doing. Whereas I think in the NBA, because these guys are professionals, they're adults, they're men, once we leave practice, they're kind of on their own, and, I'm left to really concentrate on how, and myself and our staff can help our team get better. I think the other part is because they're so further advanced in the game because of the number of years and experiences. I say this all the time, like, when you've got a high school kid coming to college, it's the first time they're leaving home. It's the first time they're having to make choices on their own. There's so much more hands-on involvement with that. This hands-on is a little bit different from the standpoint of the basketball, the X's and O's, how to help them in the game, how to help them grow, our team grow. It's a lot more concentrated. But it is. I would say it's totally different. But at the core of it, it's still basketball.
How would you assess how Steven is coming on offensively as a guy that can get you some points? There are some games he's dunking like Tyson Chandler in that space on the pick and roll.
Yeah, no, he's gotten better. I think from the start of the year to now, he's gotten more comfortable offensively. I think Russell's got a lot of confidence in him, as does Kevin, to throw him the ball on rolls and places to the basket. He's gotten better. He's just getting better and better. I feel bad he had that injury. Hopefully that won't take away from his growth, but he's done a really good job there.
Ex-Knick John Starks knows a lot about playing with superstars in his days. When you see Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant on the floor, what comes to mind?
Man, excitement, first and foremost. You're talking about a dynamic player, and Durant at his size and what he does out there on the court is just amazing. And Westbrook, what can you say? A fantastic athlete. I think he didn't really matured into a great point guard now. As you can see now, I think probably was a blessing in disguise with Durant getting hurt last year, because he had to play and get all his teammates involved, and now you're seeing that. I think he's leading the league in assists, if I'm not mistaken. So he's just an amazing player right now.
What are some of the difficulties when you have 2 superstars like that on the same team?
Well, you need superstars in order to win in this league. There's no difficulties as long as they on the same page, which they are right now. Only good things can happen. The main thing is just keep their teammates involved and not get overshadowed by their play. So, but they're doing a great job of that, especially Russell. It just amazes me how he has grown this year. He obviously was a scoring champion last year, and now he looked really, truly looking to be a complete point guard.
With the West being as tough as it is, do they have, not only both of them, but the team in total, do they have an opportunity to contend for the Western Conference?
Of course. Whenever you got 2 players like that, you definitely got a, opportunity to come out the West. But it's going to be tough. Golden State is playing at an all-time high right now, and Steph Curry is just dominating the league right now. So they have their work cut out for them in the West. Obviously Golden State is a team to beat, and they know that everybody is gunning for them. So the key to, I think, Oklahoma City is truly their defense. If they can really buckle down on defense and continue to shoot the ball very well and keep everybody involved on the offensive end of the court, then they got opportunity. But, right now Golden State is just like amazing right now.
Great, thanks so much.
Okay.
You are. It's the 4th season of JB Smooth's
4 courses with JB Smooth.
That's right.
Premieres tonight.
That's right.
Oh.
4 seasons, man. First of all, can you believe it's 4 seasons?
it feels like we just started yesterday, man. It's amazing guest. You know why it goes so fast? Because these are genuine friends of mine, and it feels as though we're just hanging out having dinner.
Right.
You know, and it feels natural, it feels real, and that's what makes the show so amazing.
But all of your guests seem to bring something different to the table.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in terms of sports, entertainment. You know, when you guys sit down, it's almost like a free-for-all.
It really is, man, and I tell everyone's a part of the conversation, everyone's a part of the interview process, so it's my show, but I tell everybody, chime in, ask a question, be a part. It's like friends really having dinner.
At this point, when you look back at some of your shows, who are some of your guests that stand out?
Ooh, definitely Larry Johnson. Chris Rock is on tonight.
Okay.
Definitely Chris Rock. Very timely episode tonight. Jeff Ross was amazing. Who else was amazing? We had John Sally, who was amazing.
Right.
We had Steve Stripper, who was amazing. Rocco DeSpirito, who was amazing.
Right.
Michael K. Williams, Chalky. We had some amazing guests, some amazing moments, and you know what? This season right here may top all 3 seasons. It really may top all 3 seasons because we got a chance to go in really deep, and make it funny, make it relevant,
Right.
and make it fun, man. You know,
The show's only 30 minutes long. I'd love to see what's left on the cutting room floor.
if you saw the B-roll stuff, no, the cutting room floor stuff is good, but the B-roll stuff where they don't think the cameras are on is probably the best stuff that I can't hear ever.
So you might have a show with just outtakes.
I could do an outtake show,
Right.
put it on maybe like, make it uncensored, 4 courses with JB Smooth, uncensored, then would be good.
Now, I know you live in LA full time, but you do spend a lot of time in New York, and I overheard you saying that one of the reasons that you don't like spending a lot of time in New York, especially in the summertime, is because of the heat and the humidity.
The heat and the humidity drives me crazy, man. I always say it's easy to warm up, it's hard to cool off in New York City, and that's why I love the winter. I'm a winter baby. I was born in December. Just had a big birthday. Just turned the big 50.
You're part of the 50 Club?
I'm part of the 50 Club. My show feel 45.
You don't look at that. You know they say 50 is a new 30.
50 is a new 30.
All right.
But sometimes them bones start aching, and 50 is a new 50.
What can we look forward for the rest of the season with your show?
Oh, we got some. The season is great. Every show is going to have some unique moment that's going to touch your heart, that's going to make you laugh. Just like when you go out to dinner with friends, that's how it's going to feel. Pull a chair up, get a meal in your hand or a little tray table or whatever, pull up close to the TV and be a part of the conversation, be a part of the show, enjoy your meal, enjoy your evening, and enjoy 4 courses with your man, JB Smooth in the building.
And you know I got to put my plug in. When am I going to get on the show?
You know what? The best way for you to get on the show is put your TV in the middle of the room and sit on top of it.
JB Smooth. I'll tell you. But you know what? I'm going to get on his show.
He gonna get on the show. He gonna get on the show. Don't worry. I got him, y'all. Don't worry.
The New York Knicks could not overcome the loss of Carmelo Anthony, falling for the 3rd straight time against Oklahoma. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook showing that they are the 2 premier players of the NBA. For Fathers and Sons, I'm Andrew Rosario.